means the world to him, doesn't it, Dino? It's been a challenging year for him.
It has been.
A decade since he hasn't won a rally in a year.
Exactly what I was thinking. It's been a long time. It's just a nice way to finish the season and springboard into next year. So even though the season's over for him, title-wise, it was important just to bank another one. Like you said, to have a nought on your CV for 2025 wouldn't be what he wanted. So, look, there's still plenty to play out. And from what we've seen, still 50 kilometres for the teams to get through. Endurance rounds, so even he's not safe until he crosses that power stage finish line.
We are at the end of a stage. We have a few really nice locals who are with us here with our TV team, and they describe this more or less like it's like one of the epic finish stages, isn't it?
Well, yeah, if you're a rally fan and you see Finland with the jumps and the smoothness of it, that's what it looks like. And I had a few people comment to me. I went to the refuel early. I've come off the bench for this, by the way. They've come in at the refuel. Even Jackson Long in the direct said, Dino got this massive jump, and I'm like, and he said, how'd it land? I said, it landed really good. And I said, okay, but I don't think it was brave on the second pass, but it is magic. And to your point, Rusty, when you talk about our season and our series, that's the beauty of it, just the diversity of the range of roads of each of the rounds. And even Emma Gilmore says today feels like a completely different rally to yesterday. So it is very unique and very challenging.
So you can, of course, stay up to date via the Subaru Results Hub. Rally.com.au is the place to go, or any of our social media channels. But why don't we have a little look at the state of play at the moment, just in terms of the events at the moment. With beyond this point, we're at the very end of this stage. There are just 2 stages to go, and one of them a repeat of the brutal one from this morning, the longest stage in the championship.
Well, that's it. This one that we're at now, Newhaven, was actually won by Lewis earlier today. But overall at the moment, this is after 11 of our stages of the 14. Harry with a 19-second lead over Hayden. Lewis 1:22 back. Now, that time needs to be adjusted
yes,
because he actually stopped earlier, I think, with Scott after Scott's crash, just to make sure that he was okay. So some times to be revised. Richie Dalton, of course, our Irishman, is sitting in 4th position from Emma Gilmore. So a couple of the internationals in the top 5, but with some times to be adjusted.
Just to recap what Stubbsy's saying there, we do in our sport have the opportunity when people stop to help competitors that have been in perhaps an accident or something's gone wrong, the chance to use derived times, don't we?
Yeah, correct. So where Scott had rolled was quite narrow. It was on its roof in a spectator area. So obviously just Lewis was the next car on the scene. He got slowed down, waited until it was clear to go through. I think probably looks like 15 or 20 seconds. What they'll do, they'll wait for their second pass through that stage and work out a derived time, a calculation that'll be inputted in there. And at the moment, it's not having any overall bearing on the rally, but that is exactly what happens in rallying.
A couple of our photographer friends just on stage there getting set to take some snaps, and you'll see those no doubt in various places that cover our sport. About 2 minutes away from the first of our cars arriving. So
arriving or starting, we don't even know that yet. We might have to put up for a little bit longer. But and going into the point about the back end, you mentioned the top 5. Have a look when you lose a few key crews, because of course both the Rouleaus have gone out. In your long one, as you talked about, Alex has rolled over. He and Steve Glennie okay. And even though Peter made it to the end, Peter Rouleau in the Skoda, he hasn't continued on. That damage was too much. So it's shaken up the back end of the top 10.
Yeah.
So, little reminder of where we are for this round, and we have loved it. This is how we've concluded the championship. We are back in Burnie. A little bit of rain on Friday, but we've had beautiful sunshine today. The ocean looked amazing, a little bit of a sprinkle or two, but the offering from this gateway to amazing wilderness areas, there is wonderful cuisine, great wines. Nice distillery in town there too, Stubbsy. You're the minister for things here locally. It's a great spot, isn't it?
I should be on a commission, I think, from Events Tasmania, the amount of crew working I've done. Also, in terms of some of our classes today, important, there's some titles to be decided there too. So an update after the 11 stages so far for our endurance. So we go from start to finish, unlike a sprint with a Saturday heat and a Sunday heat. The Wolf Production Cup, the local, Bodie Reading is leading that one at the moment. Jackson Long is leading the WRX Challenge. The Two-Wheel Drive Cup, of course, Tony Sullen's there. Four-Wheel Drive Classic Cup is Shane Garner. So the battle with Molly Spaulding there at the moment is going his way. And Jaden Glusky, the local, of course, he's our Junior Cup competitor this weekend.
And highlighting some of that, some of those are now in our top 10 outright. Yeah. So if you actually go from 6, Bodie is in 6 outright overall.
Jackson Long.
Tony Sullen 7th, and as you say, Jackson Long 8th. And then, obviously, Newman in 9th and Brinkman in 10th as we see Harry Bates on the stage.
So Stubbsy will be conducting some end-of-stage interviews for us, which will bring you in the coverage. Nice pace here from the Toyota Gazoo Racing. Yaris beautifully done through the right-hander. little bit of
setup on the crest there. Camera doesn't do it justice. And you can see what we talk about with that feels and rolling run through as they sort of finish on that little crest on the left hand and now roll into the control to see what bench time he sets. Sort of would have in the back of his mind he wants to win this one, of course. It's a balance between speed and consistency through these final stages of the ARC.
Harry Bates, a stage win on 10, stage win on 11. How was 12?
12 was good. We had a clean run through there. I'm not convinced we're going to get the stage win again in that one. Lewis came through pretty quick this morning, so I'm expecting he may do the same again. But it was a clean run. We've got a small lead now. We need to look after that as best we can. But we've got the marathon ahead of us now, so we need to go and get prepped for that.
Tell us what makes this one so special for the viewers that are watching our live stream at the moment. What are you going through out there in this?
It's a really flowing, cool stage. I don't know, classic driver stage, like a lot of the roads here in Tassie.
And to win this rally and get the first one for the year to cap the season, what would it mean?
It would mean a lot, yeah. Don't want to talk about it yet. Still got a big job ahead of us right now, but yeah, it would mean a lot. It's been a tough year, so it'd be nice to finish strong.
Go well, mate.
Thanks.
Spoken like a true rally competitor or motorsport competitor. It ain't done. I don't want to talk about the potential of a stage win. That's how he's viewing it, because that's exactly right. There's still lots to play out. So,
waiting now for Hayden Paddon and John Kennard, who have had a nigh on faultless weekend so far. He's had a little twinge, if you like, around his back. I think a bit of sciatica that he's been having treated. Yeah, he has. But I mean, John did talk about it in an interview that we had in Service Park last night. He's gritty. He's not letting that affect him at all. He's dealing with it in between the days of competition, and the car looks tidy, doesn't it?
It's been tidy all year, apart from a kangaroo making a mess of it. Most of them think that was a mechanical kangaroo that we sent out for the Kiwis, by the way. But, other than that, he's been faultless. Very, very impressive. And this is how you win a championship. He's used to doing that at different points of series. Let's see what he's got to say after this one.
Hayden Paddon, how did you find that?
It's steady as she goes. It's pretty painful driving like this. Not for the back, but just for the speed. I'd rather be pushing on, but they're very, very nice stages here, and trying to enjoy them, but obviously just counting down the stages as well.
Just explain that a little bit more for us in terms of how you're nursing the car and trying to be consistent but still quick.
You're just not pushing the brake in or carrying the corner speed like you normally would. So you're just taking that risk element out of it, and you still need to drive hard enough to make the suspension and things work, but you're just not pushing it at all.
What did you learn from the first time at 43 kilometres duration the next stage?
Probably a bit rougher than we expected. I think there'll be a lot of rocks on the second pass, so we've lifted the car much more than what we normally would, just to try and protect from some of that.
Some great insights. Thanks, mate.
That is a great insight, and it shows you they don't take any chances. He's raised the ride height thinking there'll be quite a few rocks, and that's really nervous to know when you're trying to win a championship and you know you've got to get to the end, that those stray rocks and you get pulled out. It's not like a circuit where you get to do laps around the place, so they raised it higher than normal is basically what he said, to make sure that they are basically in survival mode. I mean, it's a Hayden Paddon survival mode, which is pretty impressive, but at the end of the day, it shows that it's all about the championship.
But knows how to stitch together championship. More than a handful across the ditch in New Zealand. Winner in the European Championship as well, hoping to add later this afternoon an Australian crown to his name. Approaching the end of the stage now. The second of the Toyota Gazoo Racing Yaris's nice line, tight line through the right-hander for Lewis Bates and Anthony McLaughlin. They approach us now at the end of this kind of roller coaster feel of the stage.
And he was quick the first time through. He's going to have to beat Hayden on this one. Would you believe Hayden Paddon's quickest so far on this being stage 12 at 4:54.4. He beat Harry by 3, both in a bit of defensive mode. Is Lewis in attack mode, and can he get another stage win here? Let's find out.
Lewis Bates, first time through, you were the quickest and took the stage win. How do you think you went that time?
Yeah, we had a good run through there. It's an awesome stage, one of our favourite stages at the event, so very enjoyable.
What is it about it that you enjoy? Does it suit the car? Does it suit your style?
I like shy roads. They suit my driving style, so Anthony and I had a lot of fun in there.
There we go. You have won the stage. Congratulations, mate. Your reaction to that?
Yeah, happy with that one.
Good job. A 43k stage to go. Go well.
Thank you.
Taking it his stride. Yeah, oh, that's good. I'm happy with that. Stage win. He wins the stage, or leading the stage, I should say, by 1.1 over Hayden and Harry. So, like I said, that's the way. Nice stage. He's, when he's on, he's very, very quick.
We'll update you from an outright perspective as we go here as well. Just waiting for the next of our competitors to come through. If you've only just joined us today on the second of our live streams, final day of the EROAD Australian Rally Championship, we have had a couple of high-profile exits, if you will, on this day, including both of the Rouleaus, Alex and Peter Rouleau, in their Hyundai and Skoda respectively. And unfortunately for Scott Pedder, who had started yesterday with a couple of stage wins and the outright rally lead, and then forcing his way back into contention with some great drives to be nearly within 10 seconds of, or within reach of the rally lead, and unfortunately rolling out of contention today.
Yeah, and what he'll be disappointed about that, apart from the damage and what the roll was the fact that when you've got Hayden sort of trying to win a championship, when you've got Harry defending a win that he so much wants, it was there for the taking probably to be able to attack or push a little bit, and he'd done a lot of work into that, and to that point had done an exceptional job. So disappointing for all of those teams, as you say. That monster stage, the Rouleaus will not want that back in the championship next year because it caught Pete out last year.
Across the ditch, the Kiwis have been eagerly following the rally in Monterey over the weekend, but Emma Gilmore has decided not to contest that and in fact come to Tasmania and take part in this round. She's from Dunedin. We love the fact that she's returned to the Australian Rally Championship. But the weekend, I think she's probably hoped to build into it, Dino, and maybe hasn't yielded the kind of pace or results that she'd hoped for.
Yeah, but I think at the same time, she's experienced and measured and knows when to push and when not. The car's in great shape. It got fixed up a little bit, had a little miss yesterday afternoon that's been fixed. And, to this point, I think she'll just be finding her feet.
Emma Gilmore, you said yesterday that it was like putting on a pair of new shoes. You knew that they were good, they just didn't quite fit your feet yet. How does it feel now?
Yeah, we're getting there. Still learning. I mean, the stages are quite different today from yesterday, so really enjoyed that second pass then, though. It was good fun. Ben's helmet's crapped out, though, so he improvised with holding the mic.
That always helps. Can you tell us why is today so different to yesterday in terms of these stages?
Just the stages, that stage particularly is a lot more flowing. And then this next stage, it's forestry, but it's so dry compared to the stages we had yesterday, and very technical at the end with all of the very steep crests, which, I just need a bit more detail in my notes, but, enjoying it.
Go well. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Great, she's enjoying it. That's a tough run for Ben too. We'll cover that off a little bit more detail a bit later.
So, car sets off. We'll wait for the next of our competitors, Richie Dalton. In the meantime, in fact, here he comes now. He's come into shot. So he's had a pretty good Sunday, hasn't he, thus far?
Yeah, he was talking before that he thought he had a suspension problem. I don't know what happened at service. I saw them at refuel. Neil Bates didn't think that was the case, and his pace probably showed different. So let's see what he has to say. Was there a problem on service or not? He's attacking quite hard, and I think he has been building speed and building confidence. Has been out of the seat for a little while, so he's coming back with a vengeance, and is at the moment, sitting on a potential fourth outright for the weekend, which will be, I'm sure he would have taken that at the beginning of the event if that was up for grabs.
Cruising into our finish area, a little glance at the car. Seems like it's okay. Chris is standing by, so could well have been a clean run. Just 2 stages beyond this one remain for the likeable Irishman.
Richie Dalton sitting there beautifully at the moment today. Third on the previous stage outright, around the top 4 outright overall. How was that stage?
That was really good, actually. It's the first proper stage we've had all weekend that we're finding the setup now. It's coming closer. We went out in the mediums this morning. It was the wrong choice, so we're on the softs now. Bit of a gamble for the long stage, but they worked really well in there.
Some question marks maybe about some suspension or issues around that area of the car. Was that a concern, or did you have to change anything?
Yeah, it was. The convention, the front left suspension here completely failed, so we were relying on the spring basically for that long stage. So on my right-handers, I was relying on the handbrake to get the turn in, but the boys swapped it out in service. We are now on new one in now, and the car is working really good.
Great stuff. Good to hear. Go well.
Thank you.
Shamrock Haulage team will be happy with that, in the groove by the sounds of things. And just up the road beyond us is Taylor. a stone's throw, really, of us here. We switch back to live pictures for you now. Troy Dowel is on approach. We detailed a little bit earlier at the end of the first run on the 43k stage of the battery issues they overcame overnight, and a little drama with the right rear earlier today. What have we got? We're waiting for the time to come through yet.
Yeah, we don't have Richie's time yet, or they're coming a little bit delayed, so we've still got Lewis as our leader on the stage from Hayden, then Harry, then Emma, but we expect Richie's going to put in a good time based on what he said. And same thing here, I think in actual fact, Troy Dowel enjoys these stages. They sort of suit his style. Been getting a bit of a woo moment there, I sort of thought he said there.
Troy Dowel, you've had a fair bit thrown at you this weekend in terms of the car, and how was that one though? It looks like you survived that pretty well. A big fist pump there from your co-driver.
Yeah, that was awesome. So much fun. That's such a cool stage, such a cool bit of road. Yeah, but that's how rallying works sometimes. Sometimes you have good days, sometimes you have bad days. But, you know, the bad days make the good days worth it, you know? So, yeah, just having a good time though.
Yeah, well said. The right rear problem, the previous long stage. Hearing some of the other guys might be going with different ride heights to try and avoid any issues. Is that something you guys have considered for the next stage?
To be honest, I'll try not hit anything. That's my plan. I think maybe if someone dragged something out from one of the earlier guys, I think Lewis had a hole in his, the bottom of it on his floor. So maybe he dragged something out, but yeah, we'll see how we go.
Good luck, mate.
Thanks.
Pretty animated there. Good job by Troy Dowel. He really loved that stage. I'm interested to see his time as he comes through. But like you said, take it in his stride, saying, yeah, okay, I've had a bit of a rough yesterday, but that makes today even better.
Standing by for Bodie Reading and Brad Jones. Let's have a look in the meantime. Lewis Bates, our stage 12 times at the moment, on top by 1.1 and not looking like being knocked off that from Hayden Paddon. These are the stage 12 times. Harry Bates third, 4.2 away. Then Troy Dowel, that's a good job. Ahead of Richie Dalton, not much in it between those two competitors.
They both thought they had a great run and enjoyed the stage. That's, to me, a little nice outright fight. It's the point Stubbs is making. Those guys not really probably thinking of adjusting their car because they don't have a championship on the line or trying to net the bank win. They can sort of leave their car in the nice setup window, not trying to conserve in any sort of way by trying to, like you say, be worried about stray rocks and things like we're talking about with Hayden. So I personally, if I was in those positions, wouldn't change my setup either. And here's the local boy doing a great job in the cool-sounding Subaru. Bodie Reading just taking it all in his stride at the moment.
Bodie Reading leading the Wolf Production Cup so far for this rally and for the entire championship. But this stage, we want to know how it went.
It was good. There was one little moment where we hit a massive rock on the inside of the corner. Probably lucky to get away with no puncture or any damage. The steering wheel was a little bit off, so as long if it's only the wheel on that's out, we'll take it.
So will you take a chance now to try and get out and see just underneath and have a look what it may have done to the car?
Yeah, we'll just get down the road here, but it's nothing too major. It might have just slightly been a control arm or something, but that's all right, we'll keep going.
All right, we'll blaze on. Good luck, mate.
Cheers, thanks, Chris.
There's quite a fresh little mark on the aluminium rim there as it rolls past off on the left front, so I suspect that could have been it. Just looked like a grazy edge, probably enough not to mark the tyre, but as you said, might have just knocked the alignment around a little bit. Your steering rack ends or an arm gets a little bit of a shove back, but as long as the tyre stays up, you don't really mind too much.
We switch now from four-wheel drive mode to front-wheel drive mode. Tony Sullins is inbound, and these are a very rare thing, but a thing that you must come and see when you're in Tasmania. The Tasmanian Devil, the great work that has been done around looking after them and ensuring that they have a bright future in our country. And it's there are places, you and I last year, Dino, were able to go to a sanctuary and to see them and to see the great work they've been doing. They're an amazing creature.
It is amazing, and this, to be viewing that and understand the story behind that, the people that look after them, so that's amazing. Like I said yesterday, you look much more comfortable holding it. So I'll always remember that, to be fair. So in actual fact, we've got Aiden Peterson who's come through. So we were expecting Tony Sullins. Obviously, the running order could have been shuffled around with regroups and things. But Aiden Peterson, after a troubled yesterday with that early wheel and puncher issue, then fought back from power steering issues. When this car's been on, they've been a great duo and winning some of the stages against Bodie. So shows the potential of what they can do. Just hasn't quite been their weekend.
Aiden Peterson, one of our more popular Tasmanian competitors this weekend. How was that one?
I don't know about popular, but yeah, that was good. It was actually much nicer than this morning, a little slippery, which suits us better. We enjoy a bit of throwing the car around, and when it's too grippy, it's not quite the same. But no, that was great. Big jump in there too. I think I winded Mitch, but we're still going. Had a few dramas this weekend, but we're still here.
What have you enjoyed most of this battle with Bodie? It's been great for the rest of us to watch on.
I would have loved to actually been in the fight with him because we are very close on pace. We have a little bit of a, I don't know if you'd call it like a feud or something over more banner, but it's quite a local stage, that one, and we enjoy sort of going toe-to-toe on it, so I'm looking forward to that next and see if we can get him in there.
All right, good luck.
Cheers.
I like that, a bit of Tassie rivalry between Bodie. He'll take him on, he said. But what was interesting, we saw yesterday him come past us and said, wow, he's using all the different lines, almost speedway style. And he said to me at the refuel early, he says, when there's too much grip, I don't like it. And there's this official way you should drive this car. And I'm just doing my own thing. And he feels like he's finding his feet. He's obviously naturally flamboyant, so he finds when the looser roads are, he's obviously got very good car control. He prefers the looser roads and let the car get out into sort of the loose areas and things. So when it's gripped up, he doesn't like it as much, but sort of nice that he's finding his feet and being able to be competitive when it's all coming together.
It is a final test of endurance beyond here before we get to the super special stage where you and I will be broadcasting in the next of our live streams. But Dino, the thing that many people will be wondering, given the drama that we saw in that 43k stage, what are the learnings for competitors going into that again this afternoon?
Well, the same thing. The thing is, got this intensity of a 10-kilometre stage, 15 and 20, which are 20k stage is a long stage. In this championship, we've got Ben Newman coming through in the Buckby Motorsport Subaru, and he's doing a good job inside the top 10. But the 40Ks, everything is ramped up. The tyres are so hot, the car gets hot, the concentration's so difficult. So for me, it's you've got to be focused and concentrating the whole time. That is very, very difficult to do.
And Ben, you could argue that local knowledge, even though he's been out of rally mode for a little while, absolutely came into play on the first pass on that stage today. Faultless run by him. Looks like a good run so far. Let's go to Stubbsy.
Is there anything this man can't do? If it's circuit racing, if it's rallying, if it's selling a car, he can do the lot. How was that?
Like, I'm average at everything, but I do a lot. So, no, we're having a ball today. Things are starting to click and enjoying the car, enjoying the roads and the camaraderie. It's really good.
In terms of the style here, which of these surfaces yesterday or today suits you more, do you think?
Depends how many brake fields I have. One stage I like the fast stuff, the next stage I like the snotty stuff, slow speed, so it just depends. But no, this is a belter bit of road, this one. It's nice and consistent, but fast. It's all for the young fellas, not me.
Well, the brave pills, you might need them with 43 kilometres in the next stage. Ben, thanks for your time and thanks for your support of our event.
Yeah, cheers, thank you.
Been a huge effort by everyone at Buckby Motors to Ben and all of the team. We're immensely grateful because they have been so integral in making this final round happen. We are just about out of time on this edition of the live stream, but the great news is we're going to be right at the end of the final stage of the final round of the EROAD Australian Rally Championship. On behalf of Chris, Dean and all of our team, we'll catch you for the super special stage not too far away.